What's going on, everyone? IBG here for a video that I expect to make for this league. Of- as you can see by the title, I did make some free agency transactions for this league, and I did not expect to do that because I thought my team was going to be good, just from when I looked at it on paper. But then I started to look at it against the teams, and I realized that these Pokemon do not at least stand up very well, or at least I do not plan on bringing them for any of the battles. Probably at least one for at least one of the Pokemon, but I do not expect at least both of them to be used as much as I needed them to be. So I decided to change the team up a little bit. Of course, this is two Pokemon that I'm talking about in particular. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna do one for one, as in I'm gonna talk about one Pokemon, and talk about the Pokemon I ended up trading it for, and then move on to the next one and do the same thing for that one. But anyways, let's just look at it. The first Pokemon I decided to trade away was Roserade, and when I looked at it, I'm just gonna put the name. I decided to name this thing, Roserade Cecilia, and when I looked at Roserade, I just like, okay, I got a good Pokemon offensively, pretty good attack stat, special attack stat, okay speed, not the best, but pretty good usage. Gives me at least somewhat of click and sort of offensive with boosted hidden powers, and gives me like a hazard with spikes and toxic spikes. So I think to myself like, okay, that's a pretty good Pokemon when I started this league. But then I had to look at it, and I just realized Roserade really wasn't helping me a whole bunch. And looking at the battles that I could have brought it at, looking at the battles that I could have brought it were very slim. So I really could not think of what I could use this thing any more than what I expected to do. So I decided to change it up. And replacement for Cecilia the Roserade, I ended up picking a really, really favorite Pokemon of mine. And I honestly love this thing to death because of the backstory I had with this thing. Next, in transaction for Cecilia the Roserade, we decided to pick, or at least I decided to pick up Nico, or at least King Nico, the Nido King. And from my WPCL season, this thing was a very powerhouse. Swept at least 2 battles. I believe I only did like 7 battles for that league because season 1 was very short, but I did end up winning that league. But Nido King did so much for me for that season and provided a really good offense Pokemon for my team. Yes, I do like lose a little bit of speed that Roserade had, but with the sheer force, honestly, helps me so much with Nido King because looking at its move pool, it gets so much. Oh my god, this happened again. Okay, I'm gonna pause real quick. Sorry about that. Showing keeps on crashing for me, but it's something I'm used to now. Back to what I was thinking about Nido King, with that sheer force and its move pool, like its stat moves like Sludge Wave and Earth Power gets boosted. Fire Blast, all these fire type moves get boosted. These ice type moves get boosted. Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Thunderbolt, and Thunder Punch get boosted. Stone Edge, because the high crit ratio, gets boosted. Shadow Claw as well gets boosted. Shadow Ball gets boosted. All these moves that it gets get boosted because of sheer force and do a whole lot more damage. And I really love that because it brings so much offense pressure with Nido King. And heck, I could run this thing physical or special. Make this thing Choice Scarf, Life Orb, Specs, or Banded if I wanted to. And this thing would be a monster to face against, and very hard for my opponents to face against. And I looked at it, and it did serve a very, very big purpose on my team, at least on the offensive side from my team. And next up, the next Pokemon I decided to drop was Noir. Conway the Noir. And really, because I decided to pick Noir because I did decide to drop it from my Season 3 of WCL. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a chance. It could be useful, at least from what I see. And I want you to know I was literally about to use this thing for my week 2 battle against Wolfie Drago, because it did have some good, provide at least a good, somewhat of a bulky offensive pressure with Noir, but I did want something different than it. I did pick Arachnid over it, and doing so, it left no room for Noir to be on the team. Because even looking at the next couple of battles, Noir had no chance of coming at all to any of those battles. Yes, it does have those 135 defense and special defense stat, and a pretty good attack stat 100, but that HP stat is so low for it to be a bulky Pokemon. Yes, it does have a few good move pools, moves that it could use in its disposal, and a few utility moves that it does get that could help it out a bit, but it's just not a Pokemon for me. In all honesty, me and this team do not get along very well. Yes, it did have that chance to expose an item, like expose like a Scarf User or the Z Crystal, or at least lose power points, but it's not for me in the end. Now, in swap for Conway the Dusknoir, I did end up picking up a Pokemon who I have not used. It does get me that Ghost type that I needed, and adds on the Grass type that I did lose in Rose Raid. And I picked up Gourgeist, and I get all shapes of Gourgeist, being the small, the large, or the super size, or the regular set, which is just right here. And I did pick up male Pokemon. I did want to keep male female since I did trade for one. I did a female for a male, so I'm just gonna trade a male for a female. So here we have Jackie the Gourgeist, because I could not come up with a clever name. Of course, there's so many male names for Gourgeist, but I saw this thing as a girl because long hair. What else can I say about that? But anyways, with Gourgeist, it did provide me a whole lot more defensive pressure that I did lose from both Noir and Rose Raid. Having that 122 defense stat, no matter what stat it could be, based on the forms that it does have, if it's a smaller form, it ends up being faster, and if it's a bigger form, it ends up having higher attack and higher HP. But with Gourgeist, it did provide me a utility mon with different coverage moves like Magikarp to stop hazard setters. Provided me with a Toxica utility mon that I had within Noir, or Status Inflictor, I should say. Gives me Leech Seed that I had within Rose Raid. Does get Reflect, does not for some reason have... No, wait. Okay, I mixed it up. It has Light Screen, but does not have Reflect. I don't know why some Pokemon have Light Screen and but don't have Reflect, or vice versa, but that's just weird to me. Does have some good offensive moves like Seed Bomb, Shadow Sneak, Shadow Ball. Surprisingly, it's a Grass Ghost type and gets 3 Fire type moves. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Fire type moves. I'm like, yes, Will-O-Wisp is a move that it gets, but I'm not counting Will-O-Wisp because it's a ghost. Ghosts have that spirited hex on Pokemon. But it gets 3 offensive fire type moves, which it does not need, in all honesty. But it's whatever. It does get those moves, and I'm pretty okay with that. Does get Trick or Treat, which adds Ghost type, which could be come into play if I decide to use it. I cannot use the Trick or Treat, sadly, because I believe Omni Boost, the +1 and all stat moves, are banned in this league, so I am refrained from using it, at least from what I think. So I'm not able to use that, but it's whatever. Well, this is my little transaction Rose Raid for Nidoking and Noir for Gourgeist. I hope you guys enjoy. This does take effect for the week 3, which will be uploaded after I've done my whole week 2 team build and post commentary, so you guys won't have to worry about that. And this is the play. Pokemon I'm able to use for at least week 3. And who knows, I could bring them week 3 and be able to use them. Or I could just bring them to the very end, which could be whatever, because I decided to make this trade. I am able to do one more transaction, but based on the look of the team, I do not feel like I don't need to do any other transaction. I did lose 3 typings, but I gained them back and then got another round typing with the new king. So I'm honestly pretty happy about that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy, and we'll see y'all when week 10 comes around. Thank you for watching.